When Aaron broke up with me, it felt like the ground had been pulled from under my feet. 10 years together, 10 years of memories, plans, laughter, and fights, and it all ended with a simple, "I just don't feel the same anymore." I was blindsided. We met when I was 18, and he was 21. Over the years, we grew up together, building a life that felt solid and unshakable. We moved into a cozy apartment after 3 years, adopted a dog named Max, and often joked about how we'd be the cool aunt and uncle if we never had kids. The cracks started showing about a year ago, though I ignored them at the time. He began coming home later from work, distracted during dinner, and glued to his phone on weekends. I tried talking to him, but his answers were vague. Work stress, personal stuff, nothing for me to worry about. I believed him because I wanted to. Then one night he sat me down. His face was pale, his hands fidgeting. "I don't think I'm happy anymore," he said, avoiding my eyes. It wasn't a fight or a blow-up. It was heartbreakingly quiet. He said he needed to find himself, whatever that meant. When I asked if there was someone else, he looked genuinely hurt. "No, it's not like that. I just need space." I moved out of our apartment a week later. My parents took me in, and I cried myself to sleep for the first month. Friends tried to console me, saying he might come back or that I'd eventually find someone better. None of it helped. 3 months passed, and I started to rebuild. I got a promotion at work, started going to yoga classes, and even adopted a kitten named Luna. It wasn't easy, but I felt like I was finally moving forward. Then the text started. At first, it was a simple, "Hey, how have you been?" I ignored it. 2 days later, he sent another, "I miss you. Can we talk?" I didn't reply. A week later, I got a longer message. "I've been doing a lot of thinking. I made a mistake. I thought leaving would make me happy, but it hasn't. I see now how much I took you for granted. I miss us. I miss Max. I miss you." Reading those words felt like someone had reopened a wound I'd worked so hard to heal. I didn't know how to respond, so I didn't. The messages kept coming, each one more emotional than the last. He talked about our memories, our first trip to the beach, the time we stayed up all night assembling IKEA furniture, the way I'd sing terribly in the car and he'd join in just to make me laugh. I finally agreed to meet him for coffee. I needed closure, even if I wasn't sure what that would look like. When I saw him, he looked different, more tired, less confident. "I know I don't deserve it, but I'm asking for another chance," he said, his voice trembling. I listened as he poured his heart out, but something had shifted in me. A part of me still loved him, but another part had grown stronger, more independent. I told him I needed time to think. Over the next few weeks, I reflected on our relationship. Yes, we had wonderful memories, but there were also years where I felt like I was the only one putting in the effort. His decision to leave without really trying to fix things spoke volumes. When I finally texted him back, I kept it simple. "I'll always care about you, but I've realized I deserve someone who won't walk away when things get hard. I hope you find what you're looking for." It's been a few months since then, and I haven't heard from him again. I'm still figuring out what's next for me, but I feel lighter, like I've let go of a weight I didn't know I was carrying. Sometimes, love isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to let go. Update 1. It's been a couple of months since I sent Aaron that final text, and I wanted to share where I'm at now. Honestly, I didn't expect to feel as at peace as I do. After I told him I couldn't give our relationship another chance, I thought I'd spend weeks second-guessing myself. But instead, it felt like I'd finally closed a chapter that had been weighing me down for too long. Aaron did try to reach out one more time after my message. He sent a long email apologizing again, saying he understood my decision but hoped we could stay in touch. I didn't respond. It wasn't out of anger, but because I knew keeping that door open would only hold me back. Focusing on myself has been a game changer. I've started seeing a therapist to unpack the emotional toll of the breakup and, honestly, the relationship itself. It's helped me realize how much I neglected my own needs to keep the peace with Aaron. One surprising thing that's happened is that I've reconnected with some old friends. A few of them admitted they'd felt pushed away during my relationship with Aaron because I was always prioritizing him. Hearing that was hard, but it made me realize how much I'd isolated myself without even noticing. Max, our dog, is still with Aaron. At first, I thought it would kill me not to see him, but Aaron sends me updates and photos every now and then. It's bittersweet, but I'm happy Max is loved and cared for. As for Luna, my little kitten, she's become my new source of joy. Every morning when she jumps onto my bed to nuzzle my face, I feel a tiny spark of hope that things will only get better from here. I've also started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee dates and casual conversations. It feels strange after being with one person for so long, but it's also exciting. I'm not looking for anything right now, and I'm okay with that. For the first time in years, I feel like I'm really learning who I am without Aaron. Looking back, I don't regret our time together. Aaron and I had some wonderful moments, and he taught me a lot about love, even if it didn't end the way I hoped. But now, I'm focused on building a life that makes me happy, not one that revolves around someone else. To anyone going through a breakup, especially after a long relationship, it's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel lost. But it's also okay to let go and move forward. You're stronger than you think. Update: 1 year later. It's been a little over a year since I last shared my story, and I wanted to give an update. Looking back now, walking away from Aaron was the best decision I've ever made. At the time, it felt like I was throwing away a decade of my life, but I've come to realize that it wasn't a waste. That chapter shaped me into who I am today, and it prepared me for something much better. About 6 months ago, I met someone new, Liam, 33M. I wasn't looking for anything serious, but from the moment we met, things just clicked. Liam is the most supportive and kind person I've ever known. He's thoughtful in ways I didn't even realize I needed. For example, early on, I told him about my breakup and the struggles I went through with Aaron. Instead of brushing it off or telling me to just move on, he listened, really listened. He's never made me feel guilty for my past, and he's always encouraging me to put myself first. One night we were walking Max together. Yes, I started sharing custody with Aaron, but more on that in a bit. And Liam said something that stuck with me. You deserve someone who celebrates you, not someone who makes you question your worth. That was the moment I realized I wasn't just moving on. I was growing into the person I'd always wanted to be. As for Aaron, things are amicable now. We still share custody of Max, and he's been respectful of my boundaries. He even apologized again during one of our exchanges, saying he truly regrets how he handled things. While I've forgiven him, I know I made the right choice in not going back. Life feels so different now. I've started traveling more, something Aaron and I always talked about but never did. Liam surprised me with a weekend trip to a quiet cabin in the mountains a few weeks ago, and it was one of the most peaceful experiences of my life. For anyone reading this who feels stuck in the aftermath of a breakup, please know it gets better. It won't happen overnight, but with time and effort, you'll find yourself again. And when you do, you'll see that the right person will fit into your life effortlessly. For me, that person is Liam. I'm not sure what the future holds, but for now, I'm happy, and that's more than enough.